What is going on, sports card fiends? Hopefully you guys are having a wonderful day, and today we're here with a video on why you haven't missed the hype train for the 2020-2021 Euros. I think they still 2020, but the 2021 Euros, I think at this point people will look at soccer cards and see that Mbappe's and Haaland's have, went up 50%, 100% in the last month, and they're like, well, I missed the train. It's over. We're done for. I don't think so. I think that this thing is going to keep on going. A main factor of that is just that soccer population is so low. So whenever you look at modern basketball Prism and those prices haven't doubled, but some soccer stuff is, it might not make sense initially, but there's just so much supply of the base modern Prism for basketball that the demand might get quenched. With soccer, in the way that the market's growing, and the way that cards in general are growing, and the way that people want to find the next thing, and just, people taste in different aspects, I just don't see the supply of soccer ever being high enough, at least for the stuff created with, pre the last few years. Now we're starting to get into, some higher pop stuff. If you're into Tops Now, if you've been looking at that, like there were great opportunities in Tops Now, and now I think they're mostly gone. And that's an example of, what happens. But overall, there's just not enough of these cards before like 2016. And a lot of these modern guys are going to get the money because vintage stuff is so low pop that it's unaffordable for a lot of people. So I think that means that just the lack of population brings up the rest of the market, and that's kind of what we're seeing. So I'm gonna head on over to Card Ladder and we can look at the first example of why I don't think that soccer is done, and I don't think that this is the end. And this is the Mbappe PSA 10 Prism base 2018, won a World Cup. Gotta buy it, right? Gotta buy it. He won a World Cup and it's Prism. You gotta buy it. Pop 2.5K. Take a look at that. Just by the way, next time you go to buy a card, look at the pop. Compare it to other pops. See what you see. I'm just gonna say the 2016 sticker. What is that? What is that? Okay. PSA 10. Of course it's PSA 10, so it's gonna be hard with the sticker. But that thing's 134, and that's why you can see this massive increase, because it's just such low pop with soccer. That's the thing. But going back over this Prism, if we look basically in May, this was $600. Throughout the summer, it was 500, so kind of went down a little bit. And then whenever Champions League hype happened, Champions League hyped, just Champions League. Now, maybe there was some chilled markets at this time. I don't know. A lot of people kind of theorized that the market was very chilled, but we saw just everything explode across the board. I had people buying Prism cards that I had bought for, like $10 for like 150. So I didn't shill those. People bought them. This was genuine hype in a time where there's just no supply. And from there, after this hype died down, it all came crashing down. Now, the real reason that this came crashing down so much and has stayed so low is because everyone sent their Mbappes off. I mean, these cards absolutely just skyrocketed at the beginning of the year and in May, so PSA just started getting them back. And people had to, they didn't have to sell them, but in their minds, they were grading them to sell them, so the market's going to pull back a little bit. And now we're seeing it start to go back up. These were sitting at about 750 for a PSA 10 in January and February, and now they're up to about 1,300. A lot of people look at that and they're like, well, those went up, 70%, 80%. Probably not much more to go there. And that's a fair way to think. It's good to be skeptical when something goes up, but I think that just with the pop of soccer, I'm not saying I would go for a Prism Mbappe. Some people would. I think that Prism does get a lot of love, so I could see it maybe being the best ROI potentially, but I think it has higher downside. But I don't think it's that crazy that something goes up 60 to 80% when we've already seen this thing triple during a time where there was just low supply. So I think going forward with Champions League and Euros and World Cup, that a little price hike isn't that crazy. And I think that you can still be finding deals out here. Now, again, you don't have to be buying the cards I'm showing, but just an example of what we're looking at. Now, a reason that I stated earlier that I think a lot of this money will even go into modern is because whenever you look at some of these older cards. Yeah, these aren't even old. I mean, 2000, 2004, 2006. What do I want to find here? We'll go with this Mega Cracks PSA 10 number 89. This PSA 10, I mean, looking at the price here, you can see it was worth very little, and now is worth quite a bit. But the PSA 10 has a pop of 143. Now, this kind of price increase, again, has been since the beginning of the year, but even back then, they were still $200-300 in good condition. So I think that these were still kind of worth getting graded. And, I mean, for the last 7 to 8 months, these have been much more worth getting graded than you're in an Mbappe-based Prism. Because, I mean, you would just send these on Express, you'd send them on a 25 day, whatever you got to do to get them back. With other cards in the market, maybe it's not the case, but we've had, probably 4 to 5 months of being able to get these out of PSA at a pretty good rate, if possible, and there's a pop of 143. Like, there are other versions of the Mega Cracks. There's like 3 other versions, and then you have a sticker, and there's other messy rookies, so of course the pop isn't just 143, but overall the pop for messy rookies is going to be so much lower than almost anything you see with modern cards, that the soccer market is just going to kind of get pumped up. It doesn't really have the overprinting that you see in other areas of other markets that can kind of absorb some of that cash from the market. Soccer is just such low pop that in vintage, a lot of it's just kind of out of people's hands. And what you're seeing here with these Messis is just how crazy these things can start to go when the pop is so low. That really is the main factor here with why we have seen this type of increase. Now, I mean, is it sustainable? Will these keep going up? It obviously just depends on the outlook of what people see from these cards going forward and how they feel about it. I mean, whenever you see stuff that has been worth, like this Ronaldo PSA 10 Mega Cracks was worth 4K at kind of a high time, and then suddenly is now worth like 200. I mean, will that keep up? I don't know. But again, here, pop 38. And that's why I'm so big on Messi rookies, is because Ronaldo rookies, I mean, I can't get them, and I don't think almost anyone can. So if you want to go, you're going to go for Messi at this point. And even beyond that, if you want like a nice affordable sticker, I don't think I have one around here. I mean, I do have them sitting, but 2006 World Cup stickers of Messi and Ronaldo, really good in my opinion. The 2006 World Cup boxes are also a great option if you want kind of, it's obviously not a rookie, but an alternative rookie where you kind of get some rookie vibes from it. So just a great way to go. Again, such low pop that this stuff is just going to be insanely hard to get, and that's why we've seen these prices go up what they have. There's no Ibra cards on here. I mean, I was trying to get some, card ladder's so bad with soccer, and just trying to get examples. I'll go with a Haaland so we can kind of see what he's been doing. He's popped off lately. I have been selling my Haalands. I love Haaland. I think he's great, but I just think there's going to be some cards that come back from PSA when the Euros are going on and money's focused elsewhere. And so maybe during the Euros, I can sell some cards to maybe afford a Haaland. But, I mean, I don't want his Topps Chrome. I personally think that the Topps Finest is the way to go just because of the jersey. Some people think that the jersey doesn't matter, but personally, whenever I look at a player's card, like, if I know that they were on a team before Dortmund or before their big move, like that's why I think the 2016 Mbappe is so important. Because sure, there might be other cards that have a rookie feel to them, but you're ultimately going to get the most feel of a rookie from something that shows their first club potentially. Now, it can get a little weird with this where people are like, well, what if they have some weird knockoff sticker from like 2 years before when they were on some weird like B-side? Like that, I'm not as sure on. But when you're really familiar with the team that he was on, like Salzburg, then I really do think that it matters. And so here, I mean, just looking again, the market was just so insanely chill for a good amount of time, and then it pops off. Now here with Haaland and him not being at the Euros and all this, maybe I wouldn't be buying here. Maybe you have missed the boat. But with soccer in general, this isn't going to be the case. And just because something's gone up a little bit, I mean, people have been subbing these for a good while now and wanted to get them back because they've just been worth a ton since the beginning, and they're still only 400. And if you sent that thing on a 5-day, you'd have it back by now with ease. So even players that are even somewhat modern, I mean, and have multiple cards, there's still not enough supply to keep these prices that low. So ultimately, I just think that people haven't missed the boat for the Euros. And if you feel like it, just make sure that you are hitting your spots. You're buying players that maybe haven't seen as much hype. With these markets, with something like soccer, where there's so many different players for so many different teams and just so much going on, there are going to be people and opportunities that fall through the cracks, and you can be there to scoop them up. And I think that this would be a perfect time because, you know, in the next 4 months, we're going to get that Champions League hype, the Champions League money that will flow into soccer, and that will continue into the Euros. And then hopefully it all just continues on to the 2022 World Cup. I do think that there will be some drawback in between, and we'll see some fluctuations, but that's to be expected. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave a like. Anything you want to tell me, let me know in a comment down below. And on top of that, if you guys want to see more videos like this as soon as they go live, make sure to subscribe. And with that said, hopefully you guys have a wonderful day, and peace.